Hello and welcome to our next video in the Ultra series, where we'll look at the current state of AI. AI is still a long way off being human-like in its capabilities. Predicting the future is notoriously difficult, but most experts believe that we are about 40 years away from general human-level intelligence. 40 years away is an interesting number, because it is longer than most people's working lives, so nobody in work has to worry about it. People have been predicting that AI is 40 years away for a long time now. Surveys about the future, even from experts, are only useful within a 5 to 10 year range. That is the foreseeable future. Anything more than that is pure speculation. In short, we still don't know how far away human-like AI is.
However, what we do know is that AI is currently very good at some things within the legal sphere. We also know that things will only improve. Currently, legal AI's capabilities tend to be well defined and separate from other tasks. There are not many systems that perform a wide range of tasks or those that can replace a qualified lawyer for a particular file entirely. Progress with technology tends to be exponential though, rather than linear, and there is a general consensus that we're on the cusp of an artificial intelligence revolution in law. It may be helpful to look at some of the major legal AI software packages and take an overview of what they can do.
First up is document review. This is most commonly used in the areas of real estate or acquisitions due diligence. The software reads the documents for you, and it speeds up the review process by helping to spot issues. It summarises the data more quickly, clearly, and accurately than a human can do alone. eDiscovery software provides a cloud-based way to store and share access to documents, rather than relying on paper or a USB stick. The software provides all sorts of useful tools to restrict different users' access to different documents, and it also provides advanced search capabilities. Next up is legal research. Software can speed up the way that legal research is done. For example, rather than finding a particular case that you need, it may take you to the exact paragraph that you need within that case. Finally, there is automated drafting. Most lawyers start with a precedent and add in or take away bits as they need to, perhaps cutting and pasting from several different documents. Automated drafting speeds up this process by including lots of different options within a single system without fiddling around with multiple documents and stitching them together.
We won't be going through all the features of a software package, and we will be making generalizations. We're not trying to tell you which software package works best. We just want to get across the sense of what is out there at the moment. Legal AI software is, in general, at a stage where users can pick up the basics and configure it with very little training. They don't need to be able to code or be a software engineer to use it. They work in the same way that Instagram will put a filter on your picture without you understanding exactly how it does it. Legal AI has user-friendly platform-based structures just like Instagram. You don't need to be an expert to use them or configure them to your needs.
Let's make some sweeping generalizations about law firms to give you a brief overview. Large law firms have the largest budget for a lot of these advances in technology, but they also find it the hardest to integrate within their own complex IT systems. Mid-sized law firms have a mid-sized budget, but fewer complications than the larger firms. Smaller law firms and in-house lawyers often haven't adopted much of this technology yet. The cost of implementing AI software goes way beyond the license fee. Law firms have to run multiple tests to make sure that there won't be mistakes in the advice, that no bugs are created elsewhere in the IT systems, and there are no security risks. It is not a quick or simple process because you are exposing your clients to a potential risk.
First, let's look at document review in a bit more detail. We heard from Luminance earlier in this series, and in this video, we'll take a look at another software package, Leviton, that can do similar things. To use this software, you upload the documents or have a document management tool do it for you. If it's in hard copy, it will use optical character recognition to read the document. In truth, it's not so great with handwritten text, with about 50% reliability. But otherwise, on PDFs or other typed scans, even if those scans have coffee stains or other imperfections, the character recognition is very good. Then, a custom data model looks for the information you need for this project. With real estate leases, this would be things like rent, start dates, termination rights, assignment clauses, that sort of thing. The software is able to identify all these things on its own.
A lot of due diligence exercises revolve around reading documents and summarising their key contents in a form. The machine reads the document, noting all the things you asked it to find, and fills in a form in the same way a human would. A machine is faster, cheaper, but generally less accurate than a trained lawyer. The idea being that the software does the grunt work and the human provides the oversight. They work in tandem. The data is summarised by Leviton. The fields on the form are completed and presented to a human for checking. It makes the process hours and hours quicker than a human filling in the forms themselves. You can see from the screenshot that the fields are already complete. The human just has to check it is correct, rather than type it all out themselves. It is also much quicker to go back to the information by clicking, say, on the landlord's name in the summary. It will take you back to the text in the original document with one click. The software can identify different types of information and different types of clauses. In this particular screenshot, it is looking at the termination rights.
One of the key things about a software package like this is that it also turns the data into structured data, which means that machines can process it, search it, and put it into a database. Structured data is key when working on large volumes of data, especially when that data has to be used multiple times. It allows a lot of other software programs, especially data analytics, to work with it. Leviton will then produce a summary report which puts together all the information in an overview format. It can show you that there are 17 clauses that say this and 32 that say the other, without you having to count them up by hand. The data can be shown in charts or a dashboard as well. The lawyers haven't been removed from the process, but the whole thing takes much less time.
There are quite a few AI programs out there which do similar things for real estate leases, acquisitions due diligence, compliance and risk review, employment contracts, etc. AI has become very adept at reading the documents, making sense of which clauses are which, and summarising the key information, massively reducing the time it takes lawyers to review large volumes of documents. Lawyers still generally need to supervise and check the process, but the process is quicker and easier.
Let's move on to e-discovery. Discovery happens during litigation, where the parties have to disclose relevant documents to each other. With the recent explosion in the number of documents being created, it gets harder and harder to go through these by hand. Relativity is one of the many options available for e-discovery software. It's based in the cloud and allows you to load thousands of documents onto the system and control who has access to which documents. Some documents shouldn't be available to everyone, so you can give different access rights to your own experts or to the other side. Once you've been given access to the documents in the cloud, you can access them anywhere. There's no need for data rooms. You're also able to redact those documents as you see fit. E-discovery software tags documents, marks duplicates, and tracks the process of the review. Crucially, with such huge volumes of data, it allows keyword searching and all sorts of text analytics for computer-assisted review. This helps enormously with the disclosure aspect, and it will provide lots of tables or visualized charts, cluster documents for you, and sort emails into threads if you want. Again, this also structures your data and all the advantages that structured data brings.
Next, we'll look at drafting assistants. Lawyers spend a lot of time drafting documents, and AI can help with that. Contract Express and other similar programs like it use a series of expert systems, which are just complicated flowcharts, to take a lot of the grind out of drafting. If the name of the party appears 15 times in a contract, the software can put the name in 15 times with only one entry from you. If you want a particular option, let's say a power of attorney clause, it will put that in the document for you and update all the cross-references, formatting, clause numbers, etc. The software has lots of documents to use as a base and pre-programmed options within those documents. It knows that if you pick a particular option, then certain other options or clauses need to automatically be added in or taken away. To go back to our example of the power of attorney, if you include one, it must be executed as a deed, and the software will adjust the execution clause accordingly. It is a precedent tool that takes a lot of the work out of drafting. It won't be able to do the final touches or the bespoke drafting. However, it will still save you a lot of time and prevent a lot of mistakes. Contract Express can also help track the process of negotiating and signing a document, particularly useful when there are thousands to track.
We can talk now about legal research. ROS uses natural language processing in the same way Alexa or Siri would be able to speak to you. It can analyse the words in a sentence and see how they relate to each other, and analyse the intent of the words. As you can see on screen now, you can ask ROS fully formed legal questions. It will return exact passages instead of just a case name. It can ask you follow-up questions to further refine the search if it finds multiple answers. It will order the results starting with the most relevant, but it is much better at knowing which are relevant than traditional searches. It's a quicker, clearer and easier way of doing legal research. ROS currently only specialises in a few areas of law, and most of those are in America. However, these sorts of research tools will swiftly cross the pond into the UK.
To wrap up, there are a lot of tools that do specific things well. It's surprising that software can do such amazing things. But some simple and obvious tasks that we need to perform in documents, we can't get the help with. There isn't yet a piece of software out there which will solve a wide range of problems. Lots of firms are using a toolkit approach where they use many different pieces of software together on a job to achieve the desired outcome. The market is very much in its infancy at the moment. There are very real gains to be had by implementing AI software within law firms, but very real difficulties as well. The cost of implementing the software safely is often very high. It is also hard because a particular brand of software is rarely the best for any significant time. They are constantly leapfrogging each other, and firms that develop these packages come and go. Once the market matures, there will be much more stability, and the obvious gains will have much less of a downside. This takes us to the end of this video on the current state of AI. Join us next time, where we'll be looking at the future of law firms. Thanks for watching.